Hello, this is your Sindarin textbook lecture series by Dreaming Fifi, and I'm Dreaming Fifi. Chapter 2, Elvish Lettering. Lesson 1, Tiwdi. We're going to study the history of the script, letter structure, vocabulary, the consonants, the vowels, diphthongs, consonant modifiers, and punctuation marks. History of the script. The Sindarin elves are illiterate. This writing system was brought in by the Noldor and used by the Noldor to write in Sindarin. It's based on the writing system that Fëanor made for Quenya. Thus, much of the terminology related to this writing system is in Quenya. The few Sindarin terms are for bits missing in Quenya that they had to make new words for. Vocabulary. The Sindarin word for a letter is Tîw, and the plural is Tîw. The Quenya word for a letter is Tengwa, and the plural is Tengwar. The Sindarin word for alphabet is Tiwdi, or literally letter rows. Letter structure. There are a few exceptions, but most of the letters have the same structure. They have a stem, called a telko, and a bow, called a luva. The telkor come in 4 lengths: extending up, short, extending down, and extending both up and down. The red one is a variant of the first, and they can be used interchangeably. The luvar come in 8 types: right curling, left curling, open, closed, single, and doubled. These combine to make 24 letters. There is a second set of letters which uses the telkor and luvar in strange ways, but we'll cover the organized set first. Some more vocabulary, this time all in Quenya. A column of letters is called a tema, and the plural is temar. A row of letters is called a Tiellë, and the plural is Tiellër. The organized Tiwdi. Yes, this is exactly like a phonetic chart. Tolkien fancied his Noldor as lore masters and linguists. We'll go through this chart, Tiellë by Tiellë, learning what each Tengwa stands for. The blue shaded boxes are letters that aren't used in Sindarin, and the green shaded boxes are used for vowels. An important thing to remember is that this is the Tengwa as modified for writing Sindarin. Don't use the system for Quenya or any other language. The voiceless stop Tiellë. Tinko is used for the sound T. Parma is used for the sound P. Calma is used for the sound K, often written with a C in Latin orthography, and Quesse isn't used. The voiced stop Tiellë. Ondo is used for the sound D. Umbar is used for the sound B. Anga is used for the sound G, and Ungwe is used for the sound GW. The voiceless fricative Tiellë. Thule is used for the sound theta, spelled TH. Foreman is used for the sound F, spelled PH or F. Acha is used for the sound or X, spelled CH. Cuesta isn't used. This sound was different from the Quenya sound, so they made a new letter for it, called Cuesta Sindarinwa. The voiced fricative Tiellë. Anto is used for the sound Ez, spelled DH. Ampa is used for the sound V, sometimes spelled F at the ends of words. Anka isn't used, and Unque isn't used. The long nasal Tiellë. Numen is used for the double N sound. Malta is used for the double M sound. Ngoldo is used for the single Ang sound, spelled NG. This is when the G is not pronounced, but the N is the ing sound. And Gualme isn't used. The nasal and approximant Tiellë. Ore is used for the sound N. Vala is used for the sound M. Anna is used for the vowel O, spelled O. Wilja is used for the sound W. The remaining Tîw. The first 3 Tiellër are numbered, but the last Tiellë isn't. You'll notice that most of these are alveolar dental sounds, and a few last letters that they had to make up to fill in the gaps. Tîw Numbers 25 through 28. Romen is used for the rolled R. Arda is used for the voiceless rolled R, spelled RH. Lambe is used for letter L, whether it's palatalized or not. Alda is used for the belted L, shl, spelled LH. Tîw Numbers 29 through 32. Silme is used for the S sound. Silme nuquarna is used for the vowel Y. Esse is used for the sound double S. Esse nuquerna is also used for the sound double S, and it is interchangeable with esse. Tîw Numbers 33 through 36. Hjarmen, or the Gondorian pronunciation Hjarmen, is used for the sound H. Questa Sindarinwa is used for the hwa sound, spelled HW. Yanta is used for the vowel E, and Ure is used for the vowel U. The Unnumbered Tîw. Gastil is used for the silent G that has been replaced by an apostrophe in Latin orthography. Telco is used for the vowel I, being used as a consonant or as a vowel. Ara is interchangeable with telco, and ose is used for the vowel A. We have all the vowels listed here. Put a little dot over the top called an amatikse if you want to make certain that the vowels aren't confused with consonants. Put a little dash over the top called an andaith to make the vowel a long vowel. As you'll remember from the pronunciation lesson, long vowels were written with acute or circumflex accents over the top. For diphthongs ending in an I, you put two dots over the first letter. For diphthongs ending in an E, you either put a little E over the top of the first letter, or you just leave them side by side. And for AU or AW, you put a W modifier over the A. It's a fun swirly looking thing. Consonant modifiers. In addition to just putting consonants side by side, some consonants can be turned into shorthand modifiers over other consonants. You don't have to use these, but they make the lines of text shorter. There are two modifiers, the nasal modifier and the W modifier. The nasal modifier takes the form of a bar or a tilde over the top of a stop. The first two, Tiellë. Put it on a T or a D, it becomes an N. You put it over a P or a B, it becomes an M. You put it over a K or a G, it becomes an ang. When you have NG intervocalically and you're pronouncing both the ang and the G, use the nasal modifier with the G. The W modifier. It looks like a backwards tilde. It goes on a letter that followed by a W. Don't use it if there is another modifier on the letter already. Note the lack of GW or HW in this list. And I did list all of the possible consonant plus W combinations. And lastly, punctuation marks. A dash linking two words together has no spaces around it. For example, fergaro. The next one is a short pause, a comma or a semicolon. You put spaces on either side of it. And the text says, Ar ebent eni ego. The next one is a long pause or a period. Put spaces on either side unless it's at the end of a paragraph. Note also that you put period marks at the beginnings and ends of sentences. Next is an exclamation mark. You put spaces on either side, just like a period, unless it's at the end of a paragraph. You'll notice that if there's no sentence before, you just use a regular period to start it off. And you put the exclamation point after the sentence that it's referring to. So the example reads, Aina vedwi dunadan maegovanen. Next is a question mark. Again, you treat it just like an exclamation point. You put spaces on either side unless it's at the end of the paragraph. The example reads, Ma nagoreg, ma nebenig. Next is a paragraph beginning or ending mark. Don't put any spaces between it and the letters beside it. It can be a single line or a double line. They are interchangeable, but I think it looks prettier if you just use one or the other. And one last punctuation mark. With parentheses, you put spaces on either side and don't combine it with other punctuation marks, even if it's a question mark or an exclamation point. The parentheses wins, basically. The example says, Arwen mel Aragorn, Jon Arathorn, ar fervesathar. For a challenge, open up your copy of the Fellowship of the Ring to the inscription on the Gate of Moria and figure out what's written there, without the help of the text at the bottom. To make this lesson, I used following Elvish fonts: Tengwa Anatar by Johan Winge and Tengwa Parmaite by Måns Björkman. I'll include links in the description bar below. And that's it. I'll see you at Chapter 2, Lesson 2. Novayr.